Guys, King Crisis here. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. If you guys enjoy my content, go ahead and comment down below any new ideas. If you guys enjoyed this, y'all already know how I feel. Y'all already know how it gets down. Blah blah blah. All that good stuff. Let's get into the video. So, when we last left off, Deku has just went home after the Heroes vs Villains training, where now you see Deku laying down at night. As he lays down, he ends up seeing a person arrive in his dream, Hycerion. What do you want? We have a problem, Izuku. And what could that possibly be? Pariah may or may not have escaped. What? Pariah may or may not have escaped. Hycerion, I'm gonna tell you one time to fucking repeat yourself. Pariah escaped. How did he escape? How did Pariah escape? I don't know. What the fuck? How do you not know this? Because it's Pariah. No one knows how he does what he do. It's just him. Well, that is a big concern. And considering the fact that I have a literal situation going on, I really hope you guys find him. He's in the mortal world. What? And he's coming after you, most likely. We cut over towards a base. Where they are walking inside will be a man with long red hair. He ends up taking his seat. Well. This is the League of Villains. I actually expected a lot more and more powerful. But nonetheless, I can help you guys out with any problem that you have. Who are you? Kurogiri would say, I am Pariah. We never heard of a Pariah before. What's important is I can help you kill a certain student at UA. The potential successor of All Might, the one he's eyeing. We get him out the picture, and if he had one for all, he'll be unstoppable. I can kill him now. You can kill him. You're talking as if you know information on him. Oh, that's because I do. Let me give you a little history lesson on Izuku Midoriya. After the lesson was done, Kurogiri and Shigaraki both just burst out laughing. And Shigaraki instantly went into decay as Kurogiri created portals that only made Shigaraki's hand get closer and closer and closer towards Pariah. But Pariah easily caught Shigaraki's hand and literally tore his arm clean off. Shigaraki fell on the ground and screamed in excruciating pain. Pariah would say, calm down, I can heal you in a minute. He ends up walking forward. I was a human many years ago. I was a hero, believe it or not. You was a hero. And yet you just ripped off an innocent child's arm. As many Kurogiri began to create portals, as Pariah just simply looked at him. Stand down. Kurogiri. No. Stand down, Shirokuma. As Kurogiri simply sat there. He could not move. What the hell? You can't do that to Kurogiri. No one can control Kurogiri. Calm down and let me fix your wound. Pariah will walk forward, lifting up his hand as a red orb begins to come off of him. As suddenly Shigaraki's arm begins to literally regrow from its blood cells. Like it's literally regrowing just like that. He then walked towards the other arm. I could use this for something important. Give it here. Shigaraki ends up looking at him. Stay away. He just walks towards Shigaraki's arm and picks it up. Your current normal project. Give it this arm, and make it far more deadly. Why is that? Because hints of your quirk still remain within the arm, and they will end up fusing with the Nomu's power, making it only stronger. How do you know about the Nomu? As suddenly the doctor will walk inside, because I did my research on Lord Pariah. Former pro hero. You lived around the era when I think it was the 7th. No. You lived during the era of the 4th user of One for All. You were incredibly powerful, but you turned to villainy one day. Or was it because you were turned into one of them? I was turned into a vampire. Wait, what? I'm a vampire who still possess all the attributes of my quirk. I was successful, one of the first quirked vampires. I was one of the best of my kind. It's why I met that damn bastard. He lifts up his hand as his hand glows a red color. I still have access to my ice. I still have access to my darkness. You have an incredibly powerful quirk. Half light, well, half ice, half darkness. Wait, when you say darkness, specify. He can control the shadows of his opponents and freeze them with powerful ice bursts. Then how did he do that with my blood? Because he was changed into a vampire. You'd say. Vampires have more abilities than an ordinary human. He has enhanced strength, speed, durability. He's able to transform into a creature of the night at will. But he was corrupted. He's dark. And he's able to tap into his full evil and dark nature. Becoming, what is it called? The Demon Bat? Pariah would just laugh as suddenly his body is coated and just fur. As his fur begins to have ice spikes, like literal red ice spikes come off of it. His eyes will turn red as he bulks up and morphs into a humanoid gigantic bat. He towers over Shigaraki and everyone in there. As suddenly the TV will flip on. Everyone calm down. Suddenly, Shigaraki, Korogiri, and the doctor would immediately shut their mouths. But Pariah would say, "And who are you to demand me?" All for One would hear those words and immediately say, "I am all for one." "No one cares," Pariah would announce. "You cannot kill me." You think because we're not aware of your realm and we do not know any of your history, we cannot find out a way to kill your people? We always knew of your existence. We just can't find any of you. So tell me now, where are your people? And maybe I won't kill you. All for One. Without a doubt, you are powerful. You are crazily powerful. But the issue is, you can't kill me. I've been through more torture than you ever have. And I've witnessed every user after the fourth user of One for All that you've killed. I was there in my glory days when you were around. I was a number 2 pro hero. My ice far outclasses Endeavor's fire. So let me make myself clear this one little time. If you dare threaten me again, I will kill you in ways you do not know is possible. After all, you were killed once. You can die again. And again, and again, and again, and again. If I have to, I won't stop killing you until I feel like it. I mean, of course, we would have had a battle of brute power alone. You would have defeated me, and you could defeat me. But we're not going to be doing that. This is going to be pure hands. So catch these hands. As immediately, Pariah would turn and walk off. One of you guys planned on attacking that school full of those brats. He throws a card on the ground. Give me a call. As Pariah disappears. We come over towards UA. Izuku ends up making it to UA, and where there he seemed to be really nerfed up. Everyone in the class didn't really notice, aside from, I'd say the one person to notice would be probably Bakugo, Ochako, and Mina, because plot convenience, Ochako's broke as fuck. Alright, she's incredibly broke. She knows what it looks like when a person is stressed out. And Mina's black and bipolar, so I don't need to explain. And Bakugo, he hides it. He hides it pretty well, and he's just, he hides how he really feels like 24/7. And yes, he's also really stressed out. So he ends up asking Izuku a couple questions like, "Bro, are you good?" And Izuku's like, "Oh, are you okay? Yeah, no, you're not." Immediately Bakugo just turn and say, "Round cheeks, thicker than the Snickers, bad bit." Chaco ends up turning around. "Who are you talking to?" "You, obviously." Chaco just simply looks at him, stunned. "I could file a report on you for harassment, but you won't because you liked it. So go ahead on. You know. Come help this dude out." She ends up talking to Izuku for a minute, but Izuku just does not tell her anything. Mina ends up showing up, and Izuku doesn't tell her anything. Until Mina ends up whispering something in Izuku's ear, and Izuku would immediately perk up and just start smirking. You turn and look at her. Okay. We can fight right here, right now. You look at me and say, and you'll lose. And I won't. So what's good? But okay, what's good then? What's good? I'm right here, I'm ready. Anytime, anywhere. Izuku will look at her and just grin. Alright. You tell me you'll fight me in my own house. Mina will look at him and say, and will. Okay, then we can fight in my house then. And everyone in the class hears that and just turns like, huh? Mieta's like, huh? Kameru's like, huh? Ain't no way he just, that's not, Mina's like, that's not fair, man. Mina walks away and smiles. And Deku's like, yeah. He immediately turns and looks back. Looks at Bakugo. He stands up and walks towards him. Do you really not remember me? Do I feel like I'm supposed to remember you, Izuku? Like, I never... It's Deku. Bakugo would immediately stop walking away and turn around. Repeat this? It's Deku. The quirkless kid. The one you bullied for about 3 years before I had to leave. Wait. Then how did you... I'll explain everything to you later. Now I know, guys, that this does not align with the timeline, which is precisely why we're about to be doing a little bit of altering. But it's not really going to be anything crazy. It's going to be something crazy, but like, not that crazy. So, Deku ends up turning around and waiting. Aizawa ends up entering the classroom, where there he requests for them to, vote for the class president. Of course, for plot convenience and just simply because I don't want to make Izuku the class president, it's still going to end up being Ida. As we know, that's sort of like his whole thing, and he's kind of a really big bitch when it comes to being it. So we're just going to keep it as Ida and go ahead on and move on, because... And I tell y'all, I hate Ida. Like, I can't stand this man. Like, not an ounce of care I will ever have for him. He's really annoying. Alright? And really annoying is me being super duper nice. Alright? I'm being real nice about it. But I hate him. Anyways, back to where we were. So, Izuku ends up immediately going off. Where the entire classroom ends up making it to the bus. When they end up making it onto the bus, everyone's discussing who they believe is the strongest in the class, until it just straight down comes to Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku. They say, I'm gonna be real, it's 100% Deku. The entire class just looks stunned. I'm sorry, what? It's 100% Deku, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, Todoroki is able to freeze an entire building with low diff, and Izuku's easily able to defeat him. And it doesn't even easily. I put up a good fight. Izuku would just look at him. You put up an okay fight, but I was holding back. Todoroki would say I was too. Well, yeah, you weren't using your fire for like a good 99% of the fight. Actually, I don't even think you really did use it. You used it probably like 2 times. Todoroki would say, nonetheless, that means I was holding back. Izuku didn't look at him. I was holding back massively. Now, if you want, during the sports festival, we can go all out against each other. Izuku look at him and say, I'll even make it to the point where I can make it the fairest fight I could possibly make it. He whispered in Todoroki's ear, I can make you just like me. And then we'll have a good fight. A fight that will take... Izuku will suddenly freeze and immediately look around. The entire class looks at him confused. He looks around almost like he's panicking. Aizawa! He would yell, stop the bus! Stop the bus now! Aizawa just looks at him and immediately tells the bus driver to stop and pull over. Izuku immediately begins to have a panic attack, as immediately everyone would run towards him and get on his side. Hey, kid! He's here. He's here. He's nearby. He's somewhere around. Izuku just begins to look around like a weirdo, and Aizawa's like, bro, are you good? He's like, do I sound like I'm good? Aizawa's like, man. Do you need to go home? Izuku's like... Suddenly he would stop. Oh, it's gone. What the fuck? Everyone else like, what the fuck was that? I could explain. And I would explain. But I'm not going to explain. We can go. As Kaihune ends up driving off, you see Pariah literally floating like very high up. He's just laughing. I never thought he'd be this scared of me. This is gonna be hilarious. You see Pariah disappearing into the shadows. But now you cutting over towards the League of Villains. The League of Villains all end up showing up. Well, everything from here goes up to canon. Izuku's Ether able to use his super strength, but this time he uses it like at a good 60% of his power and creates a massive typhoon. He ends up zooming into the water because I did skip past that part, but he zooms into the water. This time around, it's Mina and Tsuyu and Deku. So he zooms inside, picks up Mina. And just so happens to felt in some inappropriate places. But he picks her up and zooms off. The minute he zooms off, he ends up making it all the way to the other, well, ends up making it onto the boat. But there, he would immediately lift up his hand. Soul Fire, Judgment Zone, as suddenly a gigantic circle encapsulates the entire water area. Well, suddenly, literally, you could see the souls of every single villain there float out of the water. Some souls were bounded by chains. Some were placed back into the bodies of the villains, while others were purified. And what purified means is all evil intention in nature is removed from you if it is viewed as justified. But if it's not viewed as justified, you were bounded by chains and destined to go to hell when you die. Also, it is a constant, and I mean a constant pain that is just flowing throughout their body. For every second of every minute, every evil deed you've ever done will always have a negative outcome on you because you done wrong. So mind you, I mean this when I say this, every single day, of every second, they're feeling nothing more than excruciating amounts of pain. And it can get worse, it could get better, but it's not going to. So, we time skip. You see him. He's seen running forward at full speed. Immediately Deku jumps upwards into the air, bounces from side to side, and he ends up landing in the area while Aizawa was being held up by the Nomu. He would immediately turn and look at Froppy. He would nod as Froppy would immediately run off. Now, I have no idea what I just skipped from, but we're just going to just ignore my random time skip just then, but Deku immediately gets into a fighting stance as he booms forward towards the Nomu. He goes directly in and punches it clean across the face. Now, in case you're wondering, this time around, Nomu ends up having 3 arms just for block convenience, or 4. But he punches the Nomu and sends it flying. He bursts forward and immediately goes in for a main uppercut, which he successfully does. The reason why Izuku fighting like this is because he can sense that the Nomu is not human. He's a supernatural creature, and the Nomu is technically a supernatural creature. And all supernaturals in the My Hero Academia verse can tell when one another is a supernatural. So as he punches and sends it flying, Izuku would immediately sprout out his wings and fly forward at full speed. Immediately his hands is encapsulated, like it's engulfed in his scales. As immediately he has gigantic claws coming out of his hand as he starts slashing and ripping into the Nomu relentlessly. As he slams his claws directly into the stomach of the Nomu, he slowly starts pulling it apart as he rips it in half. Immediately, Aizawa sees it, and he's absolutely stunned, along with pretty much everyone who just saw this. He took down his Nomu so quickly. And according to Shigaraki, that's like their secret weapon against All Might. A couple of villains are actually prepared to run, but Izuku didn't yell out Judgment Zone, Soul Fire. As suddenly, they're all paused, like they can't move. They feel their souls being zapped out. And to Izuku's surprise, Kurogiri and Shigaraki, who seems to be the main leaders, were purified. Like, they were actually purified. The second this happened, Izuku just turned, baffled, as Shigaraki ends up hitting the ground, and Kurogiri ends up turning he literally turns blue. Izuku just looks confused as the Nomu no longer has a master, but suddenly, kill him. Izuku hears that suddenly the Nomu breaks his neck. Like, literally, it regenerated and broke his neck. Izuku falls onto the ground, where there, you'll see floating in the air, Pariah. You use your soul fire purification. It doesn't matter. We didn't need Shigaraki or Kurogiri. I'm in charge now. Pariah ends up landing. Should I kill them? Maybe I should stay away from Shigaraki. As suddenly, Kurogiri lifts up his hand and creates a portal where he ends up portaling himself and Shigaraki completely out of the area. And in case you're wondering, this is not Kurogiri anymore. He simply has a few memories from Kurogiri. This is a mixture of Shirakumo and Kurogiri. And as we know, Shirakumo has this personality trait about him, like he has to protect an innocent child, and Shigaraki is sort of, kind of innocent, kind of. So yeah, he creates the portal and gets himself and Shigaraki out of there. The minute this happens, Pariah would only laugh. Izuku ends up healing himself. Well, he ends up healing because he is immortal. He's like immortal. Currently, there's literally no way to kill Izuku. Like, a stake through the heart does not work on vampires in the My Hero Academia verse, but there is a way to kill them that it does involve a stake. But you have to be a born hunter. If you're not a born hunter, just stabbing a vampire through the heart will not work. You have to be specifically a born hunter, and I will explain them later. And trust me, there's gonna be one. Like, there's gonna be like a very important character. It's gonna turn out to be one. But the point is, you see Izuku. He seems to be having a panic attack as Pariah would land. Come on, how about you fight me at your full power, kid? Unless you're afraid. Izuku looks at him and says, "I'll kill you." You'll kill me? You can't even swing on me yet. You're traumatized. I like that. Izuku would immediately stand up. Immediately, he begins to breathe heavily. Instantly, he says, "Overdrive, drag Neo." Izuku would yell as suddenly his entire body becomes encapsulated, encapsulated. Like, his entire body just becomes surrounded by his scales. He completely transformed into his, like, if you guys look at the thumbnail, you guys see the overlay. That's the form he just turned into. And he burst towards Pariah at full speed. He went directly in for a punch, where Pariah ends up catching Izuku's arm and throwing him to the side. He just laughs and said, "You're going full power from the start." I love it when they do that. Immediately, the Noble ends up running for us. Pariah lifted up his head and said, "Stay in your place and wait for All Might. He's your target, but the brat is mine." As Zuko's thrown back, he ends up jumping upward and booming forward towards Pariah. He goes in for punch after punch after punch, but Pariah only dodges every single one of them. Pariah then goes in for a punch of his own, which Zuko ends up bursting into bats and doing a short range teleportation. Like I said, his teleportation is very short range, but nonetheless, it is teleportation. Teleportation appears behind Pariah and goes in for a punch, which Pariah ends up catching his fist with a literal, like an ice hand that shot out of his back. He ends up throwing Izuku directly over him, as Zuko immediately says, "Alright, enough of this soul frame! Punisher!" Immediately he shoots off a massive ball of just more like a massive spear of just pure soul fire. And this technique is Punisher. This is one of Izuku's primary techniques, where it does not matter if you are a pure soul or not. Any bad deed you have done, it will be punished. And it hurts, okay? It doesn't matter. You could, like, kill a roach and it's gonna feel like you fucking, it's gonna, like, be a portion of, it's literally a portion of hell being blasted at you. So it's gonna hurt. But Pariah ends up dodging it, and of course this is a homie technique, so it continues to follow him, but Pariah continues to dodge until eventually he jumps over it and ends up grabbing Izuku's face and making Izuku straight up get hit dead across the face by the blast. Izuku falls on the ground, begins to screech in pain. Mind you, this is Izuku's most powerful form. In this form, he's like, right now he's still a kid, and I'm not gonna put him above All Might in power, but like pure physical power alone, this is his strongest form. And with pure power, he could actually defeat All Might. In this form, he's not actually stronger. He just have way too many hacks. But the point is, Pariah is easily handling him in his base form. Looks at Zuko, says, "I mean, you're the original Dracromite. Dracropyre? However you say it. The original Dracropyre. I expected so much better out of you." Izuku gets up and looks at him. "I'll kill you." Didn't he say the same exact thing? And you know what that got him? Izuku looks at him and says, "Yes," he would yell. "Yes, let it take over. Let your nature take over. Fight me like you were always meant to." Izuku blitzed at full speed with all intent to kill, tapping into his true dark nature and ripping the throat of Pariah clean out as Pariah fell on the ground. he straight up creates a new throat out of pure blood, and ends up getting up. See, this is why you're my favorite. This is why you're my favorite out of your little pathetic family. As suddenly, Pariah would freeze. You'd immediately turn slowly before he's punched across the face and immediately sent flying. Stay the hell away. As he immediately walks forward will be Inko. And suddenly Pariah is kicked and sent flying. As immediately Inko blitzes forward and slams his punch directly into his face. Well, there you see Inko and Asashi both land beside Izuku. Are you okay? Izuku begins to shake. How is he back? Who let him out? Inko say, it doesn't matter. Mom, you have to leave. You have to leave now. Inko would say, I'm not leaving again. She'll look at Pariah. You may have defeated me last time, but you will not defeat me again. Your son is in his strongest form, a form that could actually defeat All Might if the kid really tried. Well, that's if he used his common sense. But of course, we don't know the true limits of All Might's power, so we're not even much going to get into that. But what's important, let's see what you're capable of now, daughter. Inko will look at him in disgust. You're not my father. I mean, I did bust a nut in your mama, and you were born, and you look just like me, just without the red hair. You got your mother's hair. All I'm saying is, boot up. Look, all I'm saying is, you's mine, and you just gotta accept the fact that you're mine. Inko would immediately boom for it as she instantly went directly in before she exploded out in bats. And I don't mean like a basic amount of bats. I mean like enough bats that would literally surrounded the entire USJ, where they begin to like literally fly around him and form a bat NATO. And Inko literally starts bursting in and out everywhere inside of the bat NATO, slashing Pariah apart. Pariah is actually genuinely surprised because literally Inko learned a technique which he's surprised that she could even figure out, that most vampires didn't even know this technique existed, which is the ability to literally create clones of yourself using your bats. The issue is the clones are massively weaker than you and they're massively slower, but the way Inko is using it, it's pretty broken. As she begins to slash Pariah apart, she ends up landing where there she yells a bloodshot as immediately her eyes would, like her blood veins in her eyes would pop. What this does is it sacrifices vital organs for power, and the more important the organ is, the more powerful you become. Now mind you, this power up is very temporary because she is a vampire. She's going to heal pretty quickly. So Inko ends up zooming forward with the blood from her eyes pouring out as she ends up literally grabbing the blood and forming two blood swords as she slashes at Pariah, which Pariah ends up barely blocking. As he ends up being pushed back a bit, Pariah starts laughing as his eyes begin to glow. Finally some fun with my little girl. As he rushed forward, he ends up literally kicking Inko dead in the chin and launched her into the air. Well, suddenly Pariah would say, it's about time I leave. But before I leave, he ends up slamming his hand. Like Pariah suddenly, like his speed and power just exploded, and he slammed his hand right into Inko's guts. As there he would say, perfect. And he literally ripped out a small glowing orb. Where there he crushed it. Let's see how long it take you to put this back together. As he literally sprinkled it on Inko's body and walked off. Inko fell directly to the ground, and immediately Hasashi and Izuku would both scream, as immediately Izuku and Hasashi both immediately went completely ballistic. Both of them transformed into their full power state, which I already stated was about Izuku, but Hasashi's looked kind of similar to Izuku. The difference is slimmer because he's not like Izuku, and he's actually he's stronger than Izuku, don't get me wrong, but well, he's not even stronger, he just has more experience. Inko's actually stronger, but the point is they both zoom forward at their rapid speeds, with literally Izuku for the first time actually using his poisonous flames and straight up shooting off a blast of purple fire, and that purple fire suddenly explodes into purple lightning, which she straight up created poisonous lightning at this point. The poisonous lightning ends up zooming forward towards Pariah. Pariah is turned and he's hit directly across the face by it. He falls on the ground and screams in pure pain. Pariah is stunned. He never felt this type of pain before in his life, and suddenly a great portal will open up and he's teleported out of there. You see All For One, who appears and immediately gets the doctor. Immediately, All For One, who is a very sickly man at this point, will walk towards Pariah. You seem to be very powerful. That's good. And suddenly, you hear, "I am too late! Too fucking late!" Hasashi would scream. As there you see Inko, literally like she's pulsating. Her whole body is shaking. She's bleeding out nothing more than blood, as it literally looks like she's aging. Izuku would immediately run for, "Come on, help me put it back together." As Moto begin to put this back together, All Might will walk forward. What's going? Handle the damn creature. The Nomu ends up just looking at him. Immediately, he locks on the All Might and booms forward towards him. And Klassen is like, why didn't no one kill that thing? They were more focused on the red dude, the red-haired dude. He seems to be a pretty big problem. But anyways, they end up zooming forward towards him. As immediately he goes directly in for a mean uppercut, which is countered by All Might, who ends up, like, honestly, I'm gonna be real, this fight goes very close to canon. The difference is every time the Nomu lands a hit, All Might slowly decays, which is starting to become really overpowered over time. And since he already is wounded and the Nomu like actually hit him in the wound pretty easily, All Might's actually pretty messed up at the end of this battle. But because there's no Kurogiri or Shigaraki, the fight actually goes a little bit easier for All Might. So in the end, he still ends up winning. The difference is he won with more casualties. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead on and end this video off right here. But since I'm ending this video off right here, I'm gonna go ahead and put up a picture of Pariah. So here you guys go. And comment down below what you guys thought about this design. I was gonna go ahead on and put that in the next thumbnail, but the point is that is Pariah, and just so happens to be Izuku's grandfather. Now I wanted to make a villain that actually had an effect and a mark on Izuku, and I will explain in the next part. And I also will explain how Izuku and Bakugo met each other in the next part. And I will go into like really deep detail on what Pariah did to Izuku, Inko, and all the others as to why they are so terrified of him. So with this, I feel like I'm actually doing really good with this story. I really love this one. Like, this was, honestly, I've had this thumbnail for months now, and I dead ass have just been holding off on this video because I actually legit had no idea what I was gonna do with it. I was just gonna make it what if Deku was half dragon, or what if Deku had a dragon quirk, but like, it never really stuck to me. I have another thumbnail which is gonna cover like what if Deku could manipulate souls, which I'm still gonna do, but like, I don't know if y'all like it as much as this one, but hey, there's nothing wrong with trying. So anyways, with that, I'm out.